Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Quadash, and double honors to those green millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, shalom. Come back here today with another live lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of the live lesson today is Time of Trouble Never Before. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we knowing that we've been hearing a lot of talk about America going to attack Iran, or is they going to strike Iran? So, Donald Trump said he's putting it on hold. I think he said about around 2 weeks. And also is rumors of a doomsday plane that was had landed, I think, in Washington, D.C. So we already knowing that down that it's getting very, very close to those times, a time of trouble that we've never seen before, pretty much every day, we seeing that these nations are constantly getting in position for what? For war. For what? World War III. You already knowing that. We're seeing that North Korea is getting in position. We're seeing that China is getting in position. We're seeing that Russia is getting in position. All these nations, these Arab nations, we're seeing that the Bible is constantly speaking right now. And also the Lord is constantly making inquisition. So I got this little news article. I'm just going to read this little short news article. Also, I have a video on it. I'm just going to read this right here, because right here, this is no coincidence right here. It says here in this, before we and also I like to say shalom to everyone that's joining me on this live, It says here, New York Post, it says, the USE 4B doomsday plane makes unexpected flight to D.C. as Trump weighs Iran strike. So we see that right now. We already knowing about this doomsday plane, what this is all about, So we see it right now. America is constantly preparing for war. He constantly saying that, we're going to see, we're going to wait or whatever like that. But we know that these things are going to happen, whether, so the Lord is constantly got control of the kings of the earth. The Lord is willing it. The Lord is moving the chess pieces around. That's where we at right now. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. So that's exactly what we're seeing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And also we know that they're getting ready to implement this RFD microchip. It's coming very soon. We know we're coming upon a digital society, this digital infrastructure. Also I seen the video where it said by there, if you don't have any real ID, you won't be able to get food. You won't be able to get your medication. You won't be able to get your pretty much anything. So we coming upon that time, but I don't know where that video was accurate enough, so I didn't put it up, so I didn't have enough information on it. But we know that those times are coming, so we've are fast approach. Let's get this once again here. I ain't gonna go into the article, but because I got a video to bring it out with a little bit more edification, I'm just gonna read the title once again. It said New York Post. It says here, this article is by the New York Post, and it said the USE 4B doomsday plane makes unexpected flight to D.C. as Trump weighs Iran strike. So I got it right here, but I'm not gonna go into this. Do too much reading tonight, because my throat is very dry. It's already dry for some reason. But one thing about we seeing that we are here, the signs of the times are here. That's why I titled the day's live, the time of trouble never before, because we coming in some turbulent times. We coming in some very perilous times, some dangerous times. Jacob's trouble, so a lot of people right now beginning to see that, that's all we hearing left and right. Talks of things going nuclear. So man, we are so very close. We so very excited. So let's start here first before we go to the video. Let's start here and get this quick precept in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse. Let's start up at verse 18, because the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. We're seeing that these things are constantly happening left and right. And also, it still is rumors that sleeper cells are right here in our own backyard. So, they just waiting on the green light. So it's a lot of things that's going down left and right. We're seeing that this nation is divided, can be civil unrest, civil war, riotings, a lot of things that happen, whether it's been engineered or manufactured. So, hey man, it is at the door. Let's get this right quick. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 18 said, and it is said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Verse 19, it says, and I will begin to make inquisition or investigation of them, what they be that had hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. Verse 20, it says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, the prophecies, the signs of the time. The book shall be opened, the Bible, before the firmament, talking about the World Wide Web, is that, and they shall see all together what the internet. So he's seeing all these things left and right, constantly telling is America is going to aid Israel, and also we seeing that now that Russia is saying that if they do, saying that they have these nuclear science still is in Tehran, and they were saying that they're not leaving. So it's a lot of things that's happening. Also, it was saying about they had I think it was $2.8 billion bomb to it was like I think it was a doomsday like bunker device, something that could break through this mountain retreat that they have these what they say they have these so-called nuclear missiles at, this mountain. I don't want to lose no one, but anyway, they're saying that America is the only one that have that capability. We put it like that. So let's read this once again. It said, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20 said, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, the prophecy, the signs of the time. The book shall be opened before the firmament, talking about the Bible and also what the World Wide Web, the internet. It said, and they shall see all together. So that's exactly what we're seeing right now, all together, the signs of the time. We're constantly seeing that, they constantly saying each and every day, rumors of wars are all over the place. Things can go nuclear at any given time. Let's get to one here for Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah, just random scriptures that's rolling in the spirit. And we're seeing right now it's high time to prophesy. Right now, you see something, you must say something. Because right now, we know that the Lord is going to bring forth what the famine of the word. These things, the Lord's getting ready to bring it to a close. We are here, man. We are very excited. We are more closer than ever to the end of all these things. We more closer to the RFD microchip. We know that have to be implemented before this war get full circle. So now let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 50. I think it's around verse 46, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45. It said, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Say what? Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon. How do you do that spiritually? You know what I'm saying? Wisdom and knowledge should be what the stability of the time. Your faith is going to be tried in these turbulent times that we're coming upon. So it says once again, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45 said, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Verse 46, and lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. So that's constantly what we're seeing, rumors in the land. We're constantly seeing rumors upon rumors, mischief upon mischief. We're seeing what? Rulers against rulers. We're seeing what? Nations are rising against nations. And also we know that what? The heathens are raging. They're imagining what? A vain thing to be the what? The next superpower. So everyone is getting in position. we already know that, they'll get ready to use those IBCM missiles, but it's going to be all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Let's read verse 46 again, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 46 again. It said, unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come in 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. So right now, you know what I'm saying? We're in the beginning of sorrow, but the end is not yet. So the Lord said these things must come to pass. So we constantly hearing these rumors. We're constantly hearing all these different things about, hey, it could, it's a possibility that it could go nuclear, or it's a possibility that America is going to join Israel. It's a lot of these different things. Man, we're here. So now, let's go here to the videos. I got a couple of videos I'm gonna show, and after the video, we'll start back up. Let's show them when about this doomsday plane, because we already know what is going on. It's no coincidence that they're bringing out this doomsday plane, and it's gonna give you a little bit more explanation what this doomsday plane, what it does and what it consists of. Let's see. Let's get it right here, right quick.
You see this plane above you, and you may only have 5 minutes left to live. Let me explain. This is the Boeing Doomsday, a plane in the U.S. Air Force dedicated to safeguarding key figures, like the president, during a nuclear crisis. Engineered for rapid response, one of its engines operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready for immediate takeoff in the event of a nuclear threat. This aircraft has advanced thermal and nuclear shielding, which keeps it protected against the impact of a nuclear blast. Once airborne, the Boeing Doomsday can fly non-stop for an entire week, thanks to its aerial refueling capabilities. Loaded with countermeasures like chaff and flares, it's designed to stop missile attacks, making it hard to destroy in the skies. Only elite and highly experienced fighter pilots are allowed to operate this aircraft. But that's not all. On top of its defensive capabilities, the Boeing Doomsday is a mobile command center. It has advanced radar and surveillance technology, enabling real-time monitoring of potential threats. Inside, you'll find some of the highest levels of tech in the world. Follow me for more content and leave your opinion in the comments.
Let's get this other one. So we're seeing that right now they're constantly preparing for war. They're getting in position. So they're getting in position. So we're seeing right now that doomsday plane has came on the scene. They keep telling you that they're not at war. We just right now, we just getting in position, just in case. No, hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So I have another one right here. Let's go to this one right here. Then we give some precepts.
To say what I'm seeing right now, I think we are gearing up for a strike, I think, on the Fordo facility, which we've been talking about all week.
A U.S. military strike.
U.S. military
And what makes
strike.
you say that?
Well, what I can see is the military maneuvers are getting in place. I've been very struck by, since the president said unconditional surrender, that just leaves very little room for diplomacy. Here's what I'd be thinking about if I was in the White House right now. Number one is timing. I think you don't want to do a strike like this until everything's in place. We're not going to have everything in place, probably for a few more days. The Nimitz, which is a carrier strike group, is coming from the Indo-PACOM theater. That's probably going to take a few days to get there. You want to get that in place. I would try to use that time to see if Iran is prepared to take a diplomatic off-ramp. The second issue is alignment with Israel. This is really critical. If we are going to do this, and the president spoke with Netanyahu yesterday, notably there's been no readout of that call, I think you want to say to the Israelis, we're prepared to do this. We're the only ones that can take out the Fordo facility, and we need alignment on the objectives. The objective here is the nuclear program and the missiles, and then that's it. Finally is risks. I know a lot about the risks here. They're not insignificant. Two of them have been significantly diminished. The air defense of Iran, that was a serious risk to a campaign like this. That's been knocked out. Hezbollah had 150,000 missiles and rockets targeting Israel. That's no longer there. But there's still risk to our personnel in the region. I think you want to mitigate those, get protections in place, make sure our people are ready. Talk about Fordo for a second. It has been a vexing problem across multiple administrations. It was a secret facility dug in the 2000s. It was revealed by intelligence. President Obama actually announced it to the world in 2009. It was a key topic in the nuclear negotiations. The JCPOA, the Obama-era deal, actually has a provision, no enrichment of Fordo until 2030. Trump administration last time pulled out of that deal. The Iranians are now enriching in that facility with very advanced centrifuges, up to 60% just below weapons grade. It's a serious problem. The IAEA just confirmed that last week. So now, and we have developed over years the military option. So President has it. And I have to say, in the last 2 years of the Biden administration, we really refined this military option. It is viable. B-2 bombers with the 30,000 pound, it's called a MOP. It's never been used before, but it has really been designed specifically for this operation. I have to say, this is not the invasion of Iraq. We're not mobilizing ground forces. This is an airstrike. And if you have alignment with the Israelis, you want to try to focus on, let's not have mission creep here. This is not a regime change operation. This is about the nuclear program.
So we're seeing right now they're constantly getting in position for what? For war. So we already knowing when America get involved, with the least of the flock, we already knowing that all hell is going to break loose. We're going to get another one in a minute, but now we're going to go back and get a few precepts. So we know that this man is getting ready to use that sword, his technology, his military, you know what I'm saying? And also that greatest sword he's getting ready to use is that IBCM missile, you know what I'm saying? The indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So let's go here to Revelation chapter 6. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And so I can get my phone act right. You know what I'm saying? You already know it. The devil get busy as soon as you start putting out a lesson. But hey, one thing about it, we're going to constantly work around him. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. It says here, and there went out and another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And out about it, we already knowing that, that red horse, he's talking about Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? Also that power that was given him, that sword, you know what I'm saying? Which in fact, his military, his technology, his IBCM missile, you know what I'm saying? This man is getting ready to use them, but it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They get ready to unalive one another. I said, the ill word, but we got to be careful. We know about the YouTube guideline. So let's read this once again in the NLT. It says here, Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4 said, then another horse appeared, said a red one, said its rider was given a mighty sword and the authority to take peace from the earth. And there was war and slaughter everywhere. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. War, slaughter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people getting ready to be unalive. Many is getting ready to be taken in a great number. That's where we at right now. So they're positioning for war. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the last and final war, World War III, the wars to end all wars before the second coming of our Lord and Savior and our great delivery, which in fact is Yahushua HaMashiach. So we know that we are very close, man. These things are right here. The signs of the times are here, man. They're right before our eyes. So now let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. The least of the flock. We're going to go straight to the point. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. I got to scroll down. You know how the blue letter is a little slower than the regular app that I normally use. But man, these things right here, right before us. And one thing about it, everyone been talking about World War III and also the MOTB and also Jacob's Trouble, because it's at the door, man. We seeing that we're here, man. These things are right before our eyes, man. Let's get this right quick. We're going to go to 45. I see this right here through the Spirit of the Lord. Want me to get this here. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 31, it said, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, says the Lord power of hosts. For thy day is come, said the time that I will visit thee. So, the most proud is what? It's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the Lord said his day has come. The Lord is getting ready to judge this wicked red devil, this wicked queendom. The Lord is getting ready to bring this nightmare to an end. We cannot wait. It says here, verse 32 said, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around about him. Let's talk about that, those IBCM missiles, that laser and chariot fire from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord is getting ready to set this place on fire. You know what I'm saying? And once again, we seeing it. It's happening right before our eyes. So at any given time, you know what I'm saying? When you watch that movie, what is that? That Red Dawn. You know what I'm saying? How those Chinese soldiers, they was just parachuting, into these neighborhoods, starting all sorts of havoc. That's how it's going to happen just right on a normal day while you relaxing in your leaves, the most proud, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of our people are very proud, they have that do thy will spirit, do what they want to do, whatever and anything, constantly, being rebellious, constantly, as scoffing and mocking, constantly being despisers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to end this nightmare. We cannot wait, man. We're so very close. Now, if you still love it here, guess what? You get ready to die here. We're very close, man. Let's go down here to the least of the flock, which in fact is what? Amalek. We already know the small headers, we can't talk on them too much or they will pull the video down. But one thing about it, these things get ready to come to end, Lord, he already has a short season. We're in that short season right now. I like to say, Shalom, man, I want to come in, boy, Shalom to Ramya, Shalom, brother, for putting up the precept, and joining me on this late live. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to get a little bit better on these live. Also, it's been a little bit busy, but it's no excuse, to do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, because we almost at the end. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45 says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he has taken against Babylon and his purpose that he has proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And not about the least of the flock, once again, is the small headers. You know what I'm saying? Amalek. And not about it says shall make them desolate with them. It's talking about what? America, you know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great. So we already know right now when America enter into this war, this is it. That's his ass. The Lord is, get ready to cut them both off. So we already know that they got to implement this RFID microchip. You know what I'm saying? You will not be able to buy or sell. I got a video on that too also. So we're going to get this right now. So we're seeing right now the Middle East is constantly heating up. We're seeing right now that all these nations are constantly getting in position. Ezekiel chapter 38, we're going to get that also. Let's go ahead to Joel, and I'm going to show another video about these sleeper cells. I did another one, but this one here is a little bit better. Let's go here to Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2 and verse 3. And one of the brothers of GMS New Orleans, that's the branch that I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact I'm GMS New Orleans also, and that he brought out a beautiful lesson, in the conference call, about the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You know what I'm saying? And it was spot on. You know what I'm saying? And that brother, brought it out. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing. Let's go here, Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. You know what I'm saying? It's high time to wake out of sleep. Our salvation is at the door. These Bible prophets are speaking loud and clear. And one thing about it, if a nigga can't get it, we're moving on. It says here, Joel chapter 2 and verse 20 says, but I will remove, far off from the northern army. And the northern army is America, military, America, armed forces, which in fact consists of the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So, the Lord is removing them. So it's already rumors of a draft is getting ready to come. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people going to be taken in that draft, and going into that war, and they will not return. So we have people in the military right now, they have no idea what they're involved in, especially if they're not in the truth. They're going to go over there and thinking that that's just a regular fight. One thing about it, it's going to be their last fight. And also they getting ready to fight Yahushua and the angels that's getting ready to come. You know what I'm saying? And take siege of this earth. It's getting ready to be a takeover, a transition of power, man. We're rejoicing. Let's start at the top again. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20 said, but I will remove far off from from you the northern army. And everybody's talking about, once again, American military, you know what I'm saying? The army, the navy, the air force, you know what I'm saying? There's another branch too, the army, the navy, the air force. And it's one more I think I might be missing. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. We know about the Marine. They're the first one to touch down. We already knowing that, we are very close to these times. And also we seeing that there's a build up in the Persian Gulf, you know what I'm saying, that Persian Gulf area, and also in the Red Sea. Those warships are constantly moving in. Everyone is constantly getting closer and closer to what? To the Middle East, the so-called Middle East. So let's start back up. It says verse 20 again. It says, Joel chapter 2 and verse 20 again. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate. You know what I'm saying? That's talking about what? Saudi Arabia. It said, and his face towards the East Sea, talking about the Persian Gulf. And say, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things. And out of the Bible, we already know that we have that build up in the Straits of Hormuz. That's over there in the Persian Gulf. We already know, up above that is north of that is what Iran, and also we got the Tigris, and also the Euphrates River, whereby the Lord is going to dry the Euphrates up to make the way for the king of the east. You know what I'm saying? This Bible, man, it's lining up just like clockwork. And also we already know what's going on. His hinder part, which in fact is the Red Sea. We already know they down there in Yemen. You know what I'm saying? Attacking them down there. I think those Houthi rebels, if I'm not mistaken. So America is there. We already know that Russia is already there. We know that North Korea there, China, all these warships is already in position. Just like the Bible said, you know what I'm saying? We are here. So, hey man, it is here. So the Lord is going to remove the northern army far from their borders. So we already know that World War III has begun. You know what I'm saying? So right now, it's right before our eyes. A lot of our people right now are hearing and seeing, but one thing about it is that it's going to get worse and worse through much tribulation. Ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. So let's go here to Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? Before we get that sleeper cell video, let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 38, and we go straight to the point. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4. Let's go here. Ezekiel chapter 48 and verse 4. And one thing about it, man, we living in some very exciting time. We're seeing it right now. We had constantly asking the Lord, how long, O Lord? You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we seeing that now our salvation is very close than we yet believe. Woo! We're here, man. And one thing about it, it's not baloney anymore. It's speaking loud and clear. And also the Lord is constantly making what? Esau barer and barer. So now, let's go here to verse 4. Let's start up at verse 4. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4. And it reads, it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth, and thy armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armory, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. So one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to put the spirit on what? On Russia. You know what I'm saying? That old ancient spirit, which in fact that old spirit from the USSR. You know what I'm saying? So they getting ready to get busy. We constantly warning you left and right, man. The Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work, man. So he's constantly gathering the nation. The Lord is putting hooks in Russia's jaw. We know that Russia is going to be a god to these nations. This Bible is just constantly lining up just like clockwork. I'm very excited. So we seeing right now, they get ready to come up against Israel and also America, the West. Let's go here to verse 5. It says here, verse 5, Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 5, it said, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, said, with them, all of them, said, with shields and helmets. Let's read that once again. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 5 said, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shields and helmets. So we already know in the modern day, Persia is what? Iran. So this Bible spot on Ethiopia and Libya is talking about these what? African nation that's going to join with them. And say they're going to be with Shield and Hammond. So they're going to be prepared, you know what I'm saying, with their military might. So we coming upon these times. And at verse 6, it said, Gomer and all his bands and the house of Togarmah of the north quarter, and all of his bands and many people with thee. And out about it, Gomer is talking about what? Turkey. You know what I'm saying? So Turkey is going to get it popping also. So they're going to be joined in. You know, so a lot of these things we're seeing is constantly happening right before our eyes. The Lord is constantly what? Gathering the nation. He's moving the chess pieces around. So it says here, Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 7 said, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a God unto them. That's talking about Russia, you know what I'm saying? And Russia is, you know, is another superpower. You know what I'm saying? You know, in Russia is no one to be played with. We seeing that what the West and also NATO is constantly what is poking the bear, but they get ready to what to F around and find out. So Russia is getting ready to be a god to these other nations. You know, it's going to be a god to what? To Iran. You know, China is going to be joining with also North Korea and also these African nations. You know what I'm saying? He'll be joining also these African nations and also the dragons of Arabia, which in fact these Arab nations. It already saying that Pakistan is saying that if Israel nuke Iran, they're going to nuke them. You know what I'm saying, man? These things are, man, we right here at the door. So now let's get this other video, and we're gonna go to that sleeper cell video in a minute. Let's get this one here. It says sleeper cells in the United States. Let's go here. It's been here. Let's go here.
In the United States, you need to be wary of sleeper cells. According to CBS News, the FBI says it is ramping up surveillance on Iranian-backed sleeper cells in the United States. Here's why you need to be cautious. Sleeper cells are a hidden group of spies or terrorists, usually sent here from a foreign government. They live very quietly, very sneaky. They even work among us. They could be your racist neighbors. You never know. They could be in your government. They could be in your schools. They could be in anywhere, literally anywhere. You'll never know it's them. And all they are waiting on is a signal. That is all they need to carry out their mission. Normally a terroristic attack of some kind. Kind of think of them as undercover ticking bombs. Friends, all I'm saying is just please stay alert. That's all. Sleeper cell. Friends, if you live in the United States,
so we see it right now. We're very close. So we see it right now. The Lord said, I will fill thee with men like caterpillars. So we are very close to this time. So we're gonna get a little bit on that. So we already knowing that that a lot of these young military men came in or across the border. It's already been engineered and manufactured, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You know, the Lord is calling these things that the white man don't have no control. The Lord is in what? Perfect control. And one thing about it, we already know that the Lord is putting things into place. He what? Preparing what? The ambush. Let's go to that sleeper cell scripture right now. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 51. And let's drop down to verse. Let's drop down all the way down to verse. We're going straight to the point tonight. You know what I'm saying? The Lord put the spirit on me to bring it out. You know, let's start up at verse 12. It said Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 12 it says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. It said, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. To prepare the ambushes. For the Lord has both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So the Lord is setting up these ambushes. The Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. The Lord is controlling the minds of these leaders all across the world. And out about it, the Lord is, you know, what is visiting the earth that he created. The Lord is setting up these ambushes. So he already got things into place. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great is going to be totally destroyed. You know what I'm saying? From the inside out. So that I brought up that earlier about that movie, the Red Dawn, you know, when these China troops came in, you know, to try to seize America. You know, so a lot of these things are constantly happening. Also, it was already rumors that that Iran wants to take Florida, but you know, that's hearsay. You know, that's not have been confirmed. So we're hearing a lot of different things, you know, left and right. So let's read this once again. It said Jeremiah chapter 51 In verse 12 it says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord has both devised and done that which he has spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So the Lord's getting ready to judge this place very soon. Verse 13 said, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant with treasures, said thy end is come, and the measure of thy covenants. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to judge this place in 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, that's why the Lord said, flee out of the midst of Babylon. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed with those IBCM missiles. That the IBCM missile and that chariot fire that the Lord's getting ready to bring. Verse 14, Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 14, it said, the Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. We're going to get in NLT too. So we see it right now. This place is full of what? Of the enemy. You already know what a caterpillar do when it goes to a plant. It totally what devour it. It totally what destroys it. So we know that we're here. So you got the young military aged men all across the world. You know, from Iran, from Africa, from China. You know, from Russia. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies is what? Within. Also, we have these what? UN so-called peacekeeping troops are right here. All they are waiting for is the what? For the what? The green light. And also, we already know they may call some type of event, a false flag event, or some type of black swan event to bring these things to pass. Order out of what? Chaos. So let's read in the Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 14 in the NLT. It said the Lord of heaven's armies has taken this vow and has sworn to it by his own name. So your cities will be filled with the enemies right now. He said, like fields of swarming locusts, and they will shout in triumph over you. So one thing about it, you know, they shall be what? Like madmen sparing none. Insurrection, sedition. You know what I'm saying? City against city. Egyptian against Egyptian. America against America. It's getting ready to be a lawless time. We're coming upon that time. We're constantly warning you left and right. And one thing about it, hey man, when the Lord bring it, ain't gonna be no more talking. So we're very close to these times, man. These things are fast approaching. Let's get this one right quick. Let's go here to one moment. Let's go here to Proverbs. I've been quoting, you might well get it. So the Lord is in perfect control. The Lord is causing these things to happen. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. And it reads, it said, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. It said, and the rivers of water, he turns it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is controlling the minds of the leaders of the earth. And one thing about it, you know, the Lord is in perfect control. That's what we constantly seeing left, right. They can drag their feet all they want, but the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to go ahead on and bring this nightmare to an end. Also, we knowing that the Lord is constantly what? Accelerating time. So we have sleeper cells here. We're seeing that the nation is divided. We're seeing right now that seen the other day that I think that was in Minnesota. I did a lesson on that lawmaker and these lawmakers, these government officials, they coming up unalive, whether they're doing it by psyop or engineering, or whatever. We know it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Also, we know that a lot of these people that are saying that they're dead or whatever, they're faking their death, and they running to these bunkers. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, the Lord said they shall dead. You know what I'm saying? But he's getting ready to do it. So they're going to be running to these bunkers very soon. So let's get this. I got another video I'm going to bring. I got to set it up right quick. It's about this.
CBS News, the FBI.
Let's get this one here by China right here. Not by China, by North Korea. Let's get this one right quick.
Holy shit. What has this guy just said? Just minutes ago, news has broke that Kim Jong-un has said this, and I think things are going to get a whole lot worse. North Korean dictator said he's ready to join the Israel-Iran war. And he sent threats to Israel saying that his jets are on standby. And that if Israeli jets fly over North Korea, he's going to shoot them down. And he's also slammed Israelis' action in Gaza. And with the strikes on Iran, he's calling Israel the real aggressor. And that if Iran give him the green light, North Korean forces will join the fight. Well, this is more than just a direct threat to Israel. With that being said, it's ultimately Iran's decision now. Whether or not they allow North Korea to become an ally. In the meantime, Russia are playing it safe. They're sending Iran weapons. But Russia ain't joining the fight, they're just watching from a distance. And with this all going on, Putin's actually offering peace talks. But the crazy thing is, if Iran accepts North Korea's help, this could massively change everything, dragging the US, the UK, and France into this war. And then we wouldn't be talking about regional war, we'll be talking about world war. But the moment one of these global powers steps in, the whole consequence could change. If that was to happen, there's only one place it can go from there, a global crisis. What do you think about this, guys? Let me know your thoughts.
So we're seeing right now that, North Korea is bucking up. You know what I'm saying? That, that, they ready to get it popping. So we know that Russia is going to be a God-hating nation. Also, we know that the heathens are raging. Let's get that right quick. Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 1. We'll go to the comment board in a little bit. I got to get that MOTB video also. So we're very close, man. We are so very close. We know that the implementation of the RFD microchip is getting ready to come upon us very soon. Also, we know that they got that Neuralink also. It says here, Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 1 said, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Imagine something that, is very futile, very they have no value. But one thing about it, they're going to try. But the Lord is getting ready to bring it to a close. The Lord is getting ready to cut off all these nations. We're seeing that we're in that transition to power. These things are happening right before our eyes. Let's get into NLT. It says Psalm chapter 2 and verse 1 said, why are the nations so angry? So why do they waste their time with futile plans? And everybody's going to be futile. It's going to be worthless. When the Lord returns, the Lord is going to destroy all these nations, all our enemies. The Lord is getting ready to take all these governments down, all these nations down. It's only going to be one government, Yasharallah, Prince of the Power. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua HaMashiach. So we are very close to these things. These things are coming at a fast pace. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to put out the light of the wicked. So let's go here to Job chapter 18. Something I want to get out here right quick. So that's what the Lord is doing, cutting it, putting their light out. And also, we're seeing that shameful spirit is upon his glory. Joel chapter 18, and let's start up at verse 5. I'm just going to read down. It said here, Job chapter 18 and verse 5 said, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. It's talking about these 1%, these international banking, these global elites. Verse 6, it said the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So verse 7 said, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. That's what's happening. Verse 8 said, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare or a trap. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. The Lord's getting ready to turn it upon his own head. The Lord already said his hands would not perform his enterprise, his agenda, his plan, which in fact was total control, the NWO. So we know that we're very close to these times, man. We are so very excited. So now let's go here. Back to the video. We'll get one more video and we'll close out. Let's get this MOTB video, because that's the time that we're coming in. If you ain't coming into that, something wrong. Let me see if I can pull it up. If I still have it. I don't know if I still have it or not. Might not have it. I don't think I have it. I thought I had it, but I don't think I have it. I had an MOTB video, but I think I might have erased it. I might have something here, though, that I can show. Let's see here. See what I have here.
The Jews clearly control the media and the banks, investment banks, not the commercial ones. But the point is,
I don't know if that is or not.
Oh my God!
I don't think I have it, but one thing about it, we know that we're very close. Revelation chapter 13, all that's coming into play. These things are fast approaching. I thought I had it, but I must have deleted it by mistake. I don't think I have it, but we know that we're very close to this time. We know that the mystery of iniquity do already work. That he will let till he be taken out the way. So let's get that. So we know that we're coming upon a digital overhaul, a digital infrastructure. It's coming to happen right before our what that system that they're constantly putting into place. So let's go here and we're gonna get ready to get out. We get a couple off the comment board and we'll close out. Let's go here to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We're gonna go straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the video. I must have deleted, so like you for that. It says here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse, let's start up at verse 7. It said, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. So we constantly seeing what the revised Roman Empire at work right now. You know what I'm saying? But he's in that short season right now. But he said he will let till he be taken out of the way. It's talking about what the Most High, you know what I'm saying? So the Lord is in control of all these things. So we see it right now, the mystery of iniquity, which in fact is the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Verse 8, it said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So when the Lord come on that fathership with great glory and great power, the Lord is going to put everything back into order. The Lord is going to come into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's why the Lord is gathering the nation. That's why the Lord said in Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 8, it said, wait on me until I rise against the prey. So that's where we at right now. Verse 9, it said, even him who is coming after the workings of Satan. So we already know who is the physical counterpart of Satan is the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying, doing the bidding, you know what I'm saying, from the left-hand side. So with all powers and signs and lying wonders, and talking about that RFD microchip, talking about that Neuralink, you know what I'm saying, this new technology that they're putting into place where it's going to have you under total surveillance, you know what I'm saying, tracking and tagging. You will not be able to buy or sell, you know, no ID, no food, no ID, which in fact is talking about that chip, you know what I'm saying, no medication, you know what I'm saying, no anything. So we're coming upon that time, you know, we're here. Verse 10, it said, and with all deceivingness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Verse 11 said, and for this cause the Almighty shall send them a strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie. So a lot of people going to believe a lie because they have pleasures and unrighteousness. The Lord said he shall choose their delusion, their troubles, you know what I'm saying, their affliction, you know what I'm saying, their unaliving. You know, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. You know, the Lord said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. So we're very close. So now let's go to the comment board. You know, after that, we'll close out, you know. Just quick, let's do the spirit. We're seeing that we're very close. In Revelation chapter 13 is speaking loud and clear. So at any given time, you know, these things are coming upon us. You know, let's see, can I pull up the comment board? And then we get a few off the comment board and we'll close out. Tongue about dried out. But hey, we're going to keep rolling. Let's see, can I pull it up right quick? One moment. And for water for everyone for joining me on this live. You know, on this late live. Get ready to shut it down. One moment. Pull it down. You know, see here. You know, shalom to Aaron J. Shalom to you, brother Brakathah. Shalom to Ramya. Shalom to you also, brother Brakathah. Let's see what he have here. You got here Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20 said, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he has taken against Edom, and his purpose that he has proposed against the inhabitant of Teman. And also we know that Teman, you know, it's going into these Germany, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the tribes of Esau, Edom, or Esau, you know what I'm saying? Says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And out of that, talking about Amalek, you know what I'm saying? The least of the flock. The Lord said, you know, I will make thee small, you know, before the nation, you know what I'm saying? So we seeing that right now. That's what, you know, Esau, these small headers. We already know that, what the name, not a Jew, whatever your damn name is, you know, he constantly, you know, want to prepare for war. But when they go in when America goes in with Israel and try to knock Iran off, they're going to get their asses knocked off. That's what the Bible said. It says here once again, it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. It's talking about America. So when America come in to help Iran, you know, it's going to be a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? We know that Israel will be nuked, but it will be rebuilt back up. And also we know that America will be totally destroyed. We cannot wait. You know, our great deliverance is at the door. You know, it says, go here, it says, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 21, it said, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, and the cry, the noise thereof, said, was heard from the Red Sea. Or that's that great destruction, that noise, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be totally destroyed. That stink shall come up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, the body count is going to be great. You know what I'm saying? Their blood is going to be red like a river. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll tell you, up to the what? To the horse's what? Brow. When you go to, I think that's 2 Amos chapter 15, around verse 31. And it says here, Jeremiah chapter 50, I think, let's see. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 49 by the same brother, Aramyah. It says here, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 22 said, see, but behold, see, he shall come up and fly as a eagle and spread his wings over Basra, and at the day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. And out about, we already know the modern day Basra is America. You know, we know that Basra was a chief city in Edom, Mount Seir. You know, so one thing about it, we see that we hear the Lord's going to come in that great fathership and totally destroy this place. Let's get one more. We get ready to close out and see where we at. Okay, we still looking good. Let's read a little bit more. It says here, Aramyah, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 11 said, he said, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritages, because ye are grown fat as heifers, as the grass, and bellows as bull. Verse 3, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 13, I think it skipped one. I think it dropped down to that one. Look like it kind of skipped one. But anyway, it said, because of the wrath of the Lord, said, it shall not be inhabited, but shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. And that's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord's going to destroy this place. There will be no inhabitant left here. And one thing about from, you know, this place is going to be a giant wasteland, going to be a giant desert where all the vile, unclean creatures would be here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the Lord is doing a mighty work. Let's get this last one here. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 4. He said, put yourself in array against Babylon round about. Say, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. And that's right. You know, as I see what Aramyah, he said, Russia is warning the U.S., saying wrong move to interfere. That's exactly right. But we already knowing that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is going to put the spirit on to make a move. So we know that these things are going to come to pass, man, left and right. And all the, and everybody, they're going to shoot their arrows. And those arrows goes into these what? IBCM missiles. They're getting ready to fly, and they shall not what? Miss their mark. You know, we're very close to a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Let's go to Jeremiah. Because the Lord is constantly revealing this wicked red devil. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this red devil very soon, this queendom. Let's go here to Job chapter 20. And we get this one, and we get one more, we'll close out. Salakia. Let's go here to Job chapter 20. Something I want to get out of here. Job chapter 20. And we start up around verse 22. We'll start up there and we'll read down. Because this is where we're at. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this man with these IBCM missiles. The indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Days come that this place is getting ready to burn like an oven. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1, you know, just roughly paraphrasing that. Let's go here. It says here, Job chapter 20 and verse 22 said, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So exactly what's getting ready to happen. We're seeing these allies, you know, constantly coming up against what Babylon the Great. You know, when you go to that Revelation chapter 17, they shall burn the whore. So these nations are lining up. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we know that NATO is going to get involved. They're going to turn on the West and also Israel. So he's seeing a faster coming. You know, so we're seeing that America is in the fullness of his sufficiency. He shall be in strait. You know what I'm saying? It's every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. What? The one that was at peace with him. His laborers, his allies, they're going to turn against him. Verse 23 said, when he is about to fill his belly, the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And out about, you know, so when going in there, he's about to fill his belly, he's about to fill his agenda, his plan. You know, so he get ready to make his move, to bring forth this new digital society. You know what I'm saying? He want that total control. He's imagining a vain thing. So we are right here. So while he is setting it up. So he's setting it up right before our eyes. So we seeing right now he's constantly bringing forth World War III, and also he's constantly bringing forth this new digital infrastructure, this new blockchain technology, you know, that whereby, you know, you will not be able to buy or sell unless you take it under your skin while he is eating. But guess what? The Lord said this in verse 24, Job chapter 20, verse 24, it said, and he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It's talking about what these ICBM missiles. Verse 25 said it shall draw and said it is drawn and come out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of the gall. Terrors are upon him. And so this describing these ICBM missiles coming out of those silos, you know what I'm saying? And they shall not miss their mark. Verse 26, it said, so all darkness shall be hid in his secret place. A fire not blown shall consume him. So it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Verse 27, it says here, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So that's exactly where we at right now. So we seeing right now that heaven is revealing his iniquity. So the Lord is making Esau bearer and bearer. You know what I'm saying? And right now, you know, he cannot run, he cannot hide. He got bounds that he cannot pass. You know what I'm saying? We hear right at the door. He said the earth shall rise up against him. So we seeing that right now, that these nations are constantly rising up against Israel, and also the West, which in fact is a mark of Babylon the Great. You know, this place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. And also people beginning to find out who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. It's the modern day so-called white man, not white, red. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to destroy this red devil. Job chapter 20, verse 28, he said, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. So the Lord, one thing about when they transition to power, we're getting ready to go from rags to riches. They're getting ready to go to riches to rag, that transition to power. You know what I'm saying? And also we know that slavery is coming back in a big way, and we cannot wait. Job chapter 20 and verse 29 said, this is the portion of a wicked man from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and his heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So the Lord's getting ready to destroy this man. The Lord's getting ready to judge this man. Man, we cannot wait. We're here. It is at the doors. Let's go here. Luke chapter 21. So we know that the times of the Gentile is almost fulfilled. You know, they done trodden it down. The Lord's getting ready to burn these red devils, these small headers out of that land. You know what I'm saying? Amen. The Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. Let's go here to let's see, Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21. We close out. We'll read down. We close out here. I might get to see what else on the comment board too. Also, let's see. Luke chapter 21. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Let's see what we got here. Luke chapter 21. Let's read a little bit further down here. I'm trying to let's start here. We start at verse 20. We'll read down. And we know that it's in reference to 70 AD, but I'm going to read it in a modern sense. Luke chapter 21 and verse 20 says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. So we already know what happened in 70 AD with these Roman soldiers. So, you know, there's no new thing under the sun. We know this talking about 70 AD, but right now we knowing that Jerusalem get ready. Also, these get ready to be compassed around with a lot of different armies very soon, and Russia will be a god to those nations. You know, we seeing how this is lining up, but this is talking about 70 AD, but I'm using it in a modern sense. Luke chapter 21 and verse 21 said, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter there too. Let's talk about 70 AD, but we're using it in the modern sense. It says here, verse 22 said, for these are the days of vengeance. It said that all things which are written may be fulfilled. So these are the days of vengeance. Let's read it in the NLT. It says here, Luke chapter 21 and verse 22, it said, for those will be days of the almighty vengeance, and the prophetic words of the scripture will be fulfilled. So one thing about it, we seeing that the truth is constantly being declared. You know what I'm saying? The Lord already said this gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth. Then shall the end come. So we're very close to the end. It's constantly we get closer and closer, one step closer to the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We almost out of here. So these are the days of vengeance. Verse 23 said, but woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. This is still talking about 70 AD, but I'm using it in a modern sense. And one thing about it that we're seeing right now, you know, it's going to be a terrible time. It's going to be a very, very dangerous time. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. Verse 24 said, and they shall fall by the sword of, said Salakia. Luke chapter 21 and verse 24, just in the spirit. Luke chapter 21 and verse 24, it said, and they shall fall by the sword and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives in all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentile be fulfilled. So that's where we at right now. The times of the Gentile is almost fulfilled. You know, we're scattered in all nations. We're waiting for the Lord to come to deliver us out of the lands of our enemy. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we know that great deliverance is coming to a Babylon, America, which in fact we know that the bulk of Israel is what is in America. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work, man. We're very close, man. We are so very excited. Let's get this right here. Let's drop down to verse 28. He said, and when Luke chapter 21 and verse 28 said, and when these things begin to come to pass, these prophecies, the signs of the time, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh or near. And it's talking about we're here. You're seeing that UFO sites are all across the world. The stage is set. All things are ready. You know what I'm saying? This man, yeah, I see he got some more things that he put up on a comment board. We probably get a few of them, but we see it right now, you know, that our salvation is at the door, our redemption drawing nearer and nearer. The Lord is very close and constantly, you know, is making inquisition. The Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us, man, very soon, man. Judgment is now at the door. Let's get a few more of these. We'll close out. Voices about shot. Says here, Aramyah, same brother, the water for the precept once again. It says here, Aramyah, Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. It said, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Come out of her, my people. This is not your rest. The Lord is getting ready to totally destroy this place. If you love it here, you get ready to die here. We constantly warn you left and right. You're not seeking the Lord. You're seeking death. We're at that time right now. These Bible prophecies are popping out left and right. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly sighing and crying, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. It really does not matter. The Lord is constantly bringing. Revelation chapter 18 by the same brother and verse 6. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 6 said, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. It said, in the cup which she had filled to her double. And that is exactly what's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? What was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. You know, the Lord's getting ready to give them a double dose, a triple dose. You know what I'm saying? And and that cup goes into what? The cup what? Affliction. The cup of what? Oppression. When, in fact, what? Slavery is coming back in a big way. We're getting ready to change places very soon. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is doing a mighty work. Someone is getting ready to pay for these crimes very soon. You know what I'm saying? It is payday. The Lord said, I will repay. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Let's get this right quick here by the same brother, Aramyah. He said, at 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6, it says here, said, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. Say, he bringeth down to the ground, to the grave, and bring us up. That's what the Lord is doing right now. It's just transition of power. Verse 7, it said, the Lord maketh poor and maketh rich, and he bringeth low and lifteth up. That's where we at right now. This is spot on. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 8 say, he rises up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the thrones of glory. For the pillars of all the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. Woo! Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So one thing about it, you know, we get ready to receive that promise, you know, of salvation, immortality, rulership, spiritual power is right around the corner. The Lord's getting ready to give us dominion, power over the nation. Slavery is coming back in a big way. So let's get this last one. This is a good one to close out on right here. By the same brother, Aramyah, Romans chapter 13 and verse 11, it said, and that knowing that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, said, now is our salvation nearer than when we yet believe. So one thing about it, we are here, man. Our salvation is at the door. Rumors of wars are all over the place. We know that they get ready to implement the MOTB, which in fact the RFD microchip, that grain of rice. The stage is set. All things are ready. The middle Lord is constantly warning you left and right. Also, we know that family of the word is fast approaching. We know that persecution of the saint is fast approaching. Also, we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. But we know that we're in that short season. The Lord is getting ready to bring this nightmare to a close and usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So once again, the title of the day live, once again, is A Time of Trouble Never Before. So I like double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. You know what I'm saying? Also to the hopeful elect that is scattered abroad. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. We almost out of here. Shalom to everyone on the coming, but Shalom to Ramya for being with me on this live. The water for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, get a little bit more better on these live, get a little bit, get a little bit more lives in, been a little bit busy, but we gonna take care of that. But one thing about it, we know that we're very close. Our salvation is at the door. The Lord is doing a mighty work. And also we know that the men of the Lord is standing on their watch, and they'll stand on fire for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So keep pushing, keep believing. We're almost to the finish line. Shalom, shalom.